James, what was your favorite?
Of course, it also involved dishwashers. I got hazed as a youngin.
Yeah.
It was just stupid stuff. I would take a box and label it like JoJo glue.
Yeah.
Make it draw a picture of a middle finger, put it inside the box.
Yeah.
and then I'd put it upstairs in the stock room.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, one of you dishwashers this kid. I remember this kid, his name was Scotty.
Yeah.
He was like the nicest kid ever. And I'm like, the JoJo's exploded in the roaster. I need you to run upstairs and get me a box of JoJo glue.
See, the reason
He ran upstairs, he comes flying downstairs holding the box, and he just holds up this picture of a middle finger, and I'm like,
that's amazing. That is fucking
suck it, Trebek.
Suck it, Trebek. Yeah, exactly.
What was the other?
Trebek.
What was the other shit? There was other things too. It was like, I need a bucket of air.
Bucket of air.
Steam.
Kids would be bucket of steam.
Yeah.
They had a bucket of steam. It's in the freezer, and kids would be.
Reality.
UFOs.
Science.
Consciousness.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That might not be a real thing. The podcast.
People love it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, the Candyman, hanging out with the Danimal, Macca, and our good friend, Nurse James, not to be confused with Nurse Jackie.
That's a good show.
That should be your name on the show, Nurse James.
Never seen the show.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know anything about it. Edie Falco's the lady. That's all I know.
I've seen every single episode. She's a drug addict.
She's got a pill problem on the show.
Yep.
Whatever. All right, so today, however you want to put it, we're talking about working in a restaurant. All four of us have worked. That's how we kind of cumulatively know each other, is working in, the kitchen of the restaurant that my family owns to get together. So we're going to get into some of the nuances of that, and we'll all share some stories. Some of them we've probably repressed and have to be brought to the surface with hypnotic regression or something like that.
Right.
But hey, man, shout out to the little homies working up at Chunky's up in Manchester, New Hampshire. I went on a date there with the Costa Rican girl, and she was dressed to the nines, dude. She was wearing black leather pants. I mean, she looked like unbelievable. So these guys see us walking in, and they were like two little, kind of nerdy kids working at the movie theater, and I was being cool to them because I was like, oh yeah, these kids get to see all the movies first, and you guys get to do this and that. And first of all, what do you think it costs us to go to the movies? How much do you think the tickets cost?
At Junkies, like $6.
I'd say $30. Oh, Chunky's is cheaper because of the food.
Oh, is that why? Is that why they're
$8?
Is that why that was $8 a ticket?
Because they know that sometimes they're free on like Mother's Day and stuff. Because they know that you're gonna spend money on dinner and appetizers and drink.
Right.
Wow,
BAs.
that's crazy because the movies cost like $20 when you go other places, but they do have reclining chairs, which are way better than the Chunky's chairs.
And the screen's not as good either.
The Chunky's chairs are nice, but these little homies were like randomly talking about how to approach a girl or like get a girl that you like or whatever. And
oh my God.
I'm this cool guy there on a date with like
and you just walk into
bombshell. I literally walked into it, and whatever they were saying, I go, nope. And they were like, I'm like, that's not how you do it. And I'm like, you go, if you like a girl, you give her your information and you shut up and you get out of there before you say anything stupid. And then they're like, this guy knows what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. And then I gave them cards for the show. So they're like, oh, we'll listen to the show. So I told them I'd give them a shout out. So shout out to the little Chunkies guys. I hope you're picking up some good things that I'm putting down here. And shout out to everybody that donated to the Thailand fundraiser. James, I believe you were on that list. Thank you. That money's going to go to buy, stuff for those people to like literally eat and survive over the next probably buy.
I heard something about this. I don't know anything about it.
Well,
I'm serious. I saw.
It doesn't surprise me.
Where's the money going to?
I took the dough. First of all, I haven't actually gotten it out of PayPal yet. It says it's there, but I don't know where to get it. But anyway, We're not using them for future fundraisers anyway. But
I don't
I'm
know.
sending it directly to 3 different families that need the money.
Okay, so it's going direct. I like that. It's not just
And-
going to some random charity that's like.
I may even pay taxes on it out of my own pocket, but that's part of my contribution and doing good. So
Your pay it forward moment.
it's like part of the. I've had a pay it forward kind of year, so
Yeah.
I'm paying it forward all over the place. So before we get into working in the restaurant, I'm going to kick it with Song of the Week.
Oh.
Now, it seems to me like everybody wants to not have their own song, and that is totally fine. It takes us, I don't know, 3 minutes max to probably all mention our songs and be like, this is what we want you to listen to this week. But you know what my song of the week is, and it's very appropriate to me. It's Lawyers, Guns, and Money by Warren Zevon. Okay. And
Classic rock and roll record.
he was a weird dude. He murdered somebody or something.
No?
No?
Not him. It was a different one.
All right. I don't know all the facts, but we'll say he looked like a weird dude.
Yeah.
And he sings Werewolves of London, if you ever heard that song. But Lawyers, Guns, and Money is another one of his big ones. That's a doozy. So that's my song of the week. I want you guys to get baked and listen to Lawyers, Guns, and Money by Warren Zevon. Now, if you guys have
I have one. I've been listening to this week. No One Lives Forever by Oingo Boingo.
You love Oingo Boingo.
It's a good song.
The only song I really listen to by them is Dead Man's Party.
Dead Man's Party's good too.
And it's because it was featured in Back to
There's
School.
a song called Little Girls. You ever heard that song? It's really creepy. I don't know why they wrote that song, but
No, but it was featured in Back to School with Rodney
Little
Dangerfield.
Girls?
No.
Oh,
Dead Man's Party,
yeah,
when
yeah.
he turns his
And then there's Weird Science
he
too.
he knocks out the walls in 4 dorm rooms and turns it into a suite
They
with
were in
a
a lot of,
jacuzzi.
yeah, they were in a lot of obscure 80s movies. Their soundtracks.
They were good.
Danny Elfman.
They were good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's your song. Matt,
Yeah, I'd listen to that.
You have
Megadeth
something,
this
you
week.
chime right in, but
I got nothing.
okay, let's get right into it. James, you're currently working in a hospital. It's fast paced. There's all kinds of emergencies going on and things of that nature.
Projectile shit.
Do you feel like in any way your time served at the restaurant prepared you for a career in a totally different, more professional field? How do you feel about it?
Learned how to handle stress, handle getting shit on.
It is stressful.
And
See?
then I've also realized that it was just the environment that was at
Ooh, that's nice.
It's better.
the restaurant that we worked at. I have very low tolerance for dumb people.
Yeah.
And I think that was a product of working with.
You were so polite to people though, too.
So
You were nice to work with.
Oh, I always tried to be, but
things have changed over the years, right? But I'm going to make a blanket type statement and you guys tell me if you think this is right or wrong, okay? But you could divide in general the type of people that work at a restaurant into good people and shitbags.
I was
into 2 categories.
Chris, this is what I wanted to bring to the show. I was gonna say it. There's the up and comers, the people that are working there as something in between, and then there's just the shitbags who are gonna be stuck there forever.
Well, the two main categories of people that work in the food service industry are good, cool people that want to work and get ahead and do a little extra, and shitbags. And then those 2 categories could be broken down into subcategories. The shitbags, you've got your alcoholics, your drug addicts, your ex-cons, your all threes. All 3 of them, whatever. You've got
Pathetic loser.
just people. They're people that I don't like to say all that negative shit on our show, but you're right. I mean, a lot of the people that we worked with over the years, there were some great people, but there were some straight up losers, man.
They were great losers. They were really great.
They were really good at it.
World class. But I don't know how to divide up the negative shitbag category.
We all know
but
who we're talking about.
I know the good category.
One of us.
The good category is divided into single. Single, you don't even have to be single, just moms and dads that pick up 1 or 2 shifts a week to work to make extra money to so that their family has money to go on vacation to Disney or something, you know what I mean? Just to pick up extra cash. You got good kids like James, nurse James over here started working there when he was like 15, and we fucking hazed him in, and it was like getting jumped into a gang minus the beatings. It was this verbal, psychological, jumping into a gang.
I didn't work at Mama's as long as you guys did. My restaurant experience is more like chicken and chips and some other places.
We're talking
I
about-
spent only like maybe like 6 months at Mama's.
We're talking about this place.
Only like 6 months, maybe a year.
I think it was a year.
Yeah, maybe a year. But I spent my other years like 8 years at other places though. So like I worked at restaurants, just not at Mama's that
We're
long.
gonna go down your
I
restaurant.
was a drug addict while I worked at
Yes,
Mama's, so I
yes.
didn't last very long.
Well, we're gonna go
I
down.
was hooked on opiate painkillers at the time.
We're gonna go down your restaurant hole because I do want to.
Okay.
I do want to dive down, and it was on my list. But you got your other good people too. Like you got your college kids, right? You've got your people that are working like just like. So recently, over the years, we had a lot of immigrants come in, and one of the some of the best workers and the best people and the nicest people were Brazilians. Yeah. So it's Mama's Italian Restaurant, Drake at Mass. We have the best chicken and broccoli saute in the world. And
Maybe true.
people are apparently hooked on the
I just made it.
roasted chicken
Chicken,
products
yeah.
like it's crack
I just made it
cocaine.
the other day. Chicken broccoli and ziti at my house.
Yeah,
like when I
really?
make it, that's what I do. It's like 2 cups of Parmesan cheese.
Hey, easy with the recipe.
Oh, sorry.
Ingredients on the air, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
Top secret.
Come on, guy.
it is.
So, I mean, working at the restaurant, you meet all different types, and it is stressful as shit because it's like someone's always, you work in a hospital. How many employees are there? Tons, right?
Thousands.
Each one has maybe different role in terms of importance to like how the whole machine runs and all that. But if like one person calls in sick, like it's easy for the rest of the group to absorb the role of that and carry the extra work. But at a restaurant, you got like 5, 6, 7 people working on any given night to like minimize costs. And then like if one person doesn't show up, everyone else has to like get fucked.
Yes.
And it's like
That's-
it's constantly going.
That's a common misconception. That's pretty much how it is in the hospital.
Is it?
One person
'Cause people
calls
could
out.
just bang in.
Yeah, one person calls out sick. You're fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't dealt with that in a long time.
Well, I mean, it's all budget, right? So we run a lean staff
Same thing.
so that we can, minimize overhead.
Cost, yeah.
So one person calls out sick, and everyone else has to try and pick up the slack, and it's not always doable.
I forgot about that. I'm the only me where I work, so like there's not. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not there, I'm not there. But nothing affects anything I do.
One thing that struck me this week was like, we were thinking about the show, and then first of all, my kid started high school this week. Hold on, I need a little DP, baby.
Let me just add too
My
that
God.
I think that when I worked in the restaurant, I went through a couple phases. And I came in, I was the young gun, and there was some older dudes.
How long did you work there? Like 6 years?
6 years, 7 years
Were
almost.
you there when I worked there?
No.
You left?
Yeah, I was.
What would
I
you
was
call it?
done.
Would you call it like 19 to like
19 to
20 as we graduated
26.
college, and I got you the job with the.
That's
at
right,
Gavin's,
I was
and
20.
and my old man ripped me a new asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
Why?
I remember that.
Cause like Sean was working for the family business, and he was my friend, and he was like in college, and so like, I
Graduate.
had an opportunity to get the kid a job, right? Like a
Yeah.
quote real job, right?
Yeah.
Because working in a restaurant is a fucking job. I don't care what anyone
Oh,
says.
no doubt.
Oh, it's definitely a job,
It's a job.
and there's nothing to be ashamed of either.
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
No, it depends on the
There's
level of
a lot of-
restaurant. There are some that are
we're talking.
Five-star.
We've talked
Right.
about a lot of it like in a negative regard, but we had some fucking great times with the people that like the
Right.
the cohesion of the good people that hang out there was solid.
We're sitting here today.
And okay, so that's what I was gonna say. What
Well, I was gonna say that like that calling out sick shit. Like when I started, we had a solid crew that people didn't really call out sick, and everyone was either like working there full time or like in college. So, and we're all like similar age,
Right.
So we came in. I came in strong. Then I had like a real good crew, and we had like what Candyman was saying is like these great times, and then everyone started leaving, and I was one of the last. I think you were still there for that.
I was there for some of that, and then there was one that even Jay was there later than me.
Yeah.
Jimmy, how long did you work at the restaurant? 11 years?
No,
At least 10.
9.5 years. I think.
When did you get out? What year?
2000. 9
9 all
or
right,
10, 2010.
I started at the age of 10. Okay, so that'll give you guys a little perspective on what happened to me and my psychological development. I was thrown into that environment at age 10. Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that makes sense. with something.
One time my parents were giving me some shit about something, and I think Mark was there to witness it because he like remembered it and quotes it sometimes. But essentially, like, you know, my parents had means and they gave us a great upbringing, and I feel like they gave us a really good balanced upbringing because we did have to go to work at age 10 to make money. But I don't know, I was behaving like an animal or something, and my mother was screaming and yelling at me, and my retort was basically like, listen, this is what happens when you put a kid down at the restaurant when they're 10 and
Right.
he works there his whole life. Like, you could have taken me and sent me to summer like science camp in the summers because you had the means to do it. But instead you chose to subject me to like physical hard labor with people that were, you know, more or less animals.
Less than favorable
And, you know,
human beings.
I'm like, people are
undesirable.
People are products of their environment. You put me in this environment. Don't fucking look at me now because you know, it produced, you know, partly a deviant, you know. So
Yeah, but like towards the end of my days, when you were like, "Hey, there's this job," I was like, "Yo, I need to get the fuck out,"
Oh,
because
yeah,
it was
It feels like you're
not a
trapped.
good squad.
It feels
yeah.
like you're trapped too sometimes.
totally.
Like people were calling.
You don't have to tell me. Like,
Everybody
my
was either an
family owns it.
alcoholic or a drug addict, and they were not reliable. They would just fuck. There was one guy, dude. Oh, we'll get into this dude, but
What, drinking on
let's
the
get
way
to
back
that.
from rehab on the plane?
What do you? How do you?
Yeah.
How do you want to handle names on the air? You want to just go initials?
Let's just talk
we
physical.
go in-
physical.
nature.
Can we go initials? Can we go GC for initials?
We can do GC. I mean, he's
any
he's the
combination
world
of
leader.
people could be
He's
that.
the world leader.
There's another one. I wonder what happened to him.
Yep, and I know what you're
CL.
talking about. What's his name? Oh, yeah, him. But remember that tall dude with the bear belly?
Oh, creepy guy.
Yeah.
The close talker.
Yes.
He's probably.
This motherfucker.
I was like 23 when I worked there, 24.
I was like 15 when I started there.
You must have been like 19 when I was working there with you. How old are you now?
35.
Okay, so I was probably like 23. You were probably like 20.
So
Was it what 2000? What year was it?
It was probably like 2006.
So I was in like
yeah,
19.
I must have left right before you.
I thought you were there for a little bit making pizza.
I might have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So shout out to my main man Pete, who's still down there. He looks the
Pistol.
fuck, dude. Pistol Pete looks like he's aging in reverse. And I've said this to you before, but it's not a fucking joke. I walk in every time I look at him, and I'm like, Pete, you look like you're 22 years old. What's going on?
He's like 45.
Yeah, he's old as fuck. He just looks the same, dude. He is not aged. So
haven't
whatever's
seen him.
See,
I
he's a
haven't seen
great
him since I
guy.
left.
He's
Whatever-
a great guy that just that's
Pete-
where he works.
Pete's
He's
the best.
works there.
He's on the good side of people list for sure.
Yeah.
I was scared of him for a long time because I thought he was going to kill everybody. But
Well, he was a juggalo.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
You got
He was
to
a juggalo.
He was a juggalo,
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do to get by.
but he was great. He's a great guy. Not was is.
I
I
saw
haven't seen him in 10 years.
Pete and I saw the Pete and I
Maybe more.
shaved 10 years off what he used to look like, and that's what he looks like now. I saw the original Transformers the movie with him.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
went.
even know how this.
I don't remember him at
That
all.
was fucking awesome.
I don't remember him at all.
Well, like you
might
said,
have
you
saw him.
were probably blacked out on opiates while you were there.
That could
so.
be true.
I would go to the
Before-
bathroom to snort OxyContin while I was working.
That's terrific.
Really?
You ever think that? No, right?
If
I held together pretty good.
I had not a clue.
The animal, if my father asks you to go back one day, just be like, well, I'll try, but I don't really remember how anything works because I used to just go snort heroin in the bathroom the whole time I worked there. That he'll probably be like, you know
I
what?
told Chris,
I'll skip you.
If I went in right now, what would I be best at? Throw me in pizza.
Yeah,
I could
pizza.
make pizza easy. Because the thing tells you what you need to put on them. Like Margarita has this, and I still know how to do everything with the dough. Give me,
Yep. Once you're
give me
one with the
pizza.
dough, you're
yeah.
on.
Pizza I could
said
do.
it.
Maybe make pasta. Like
Yeah.
all you do is, whatever.
so
I'm confident I could walk back in there and do anything.
You could do it. You could probably expedite.
I want to go down. I want to go down your restaurant.
You
hole.
did that a lot, though, right? Oh, you sauteed too.
He did it all. I
did
want
it all, yeah.
I want to go down your restaurant hole at a certain point. I want to.
Okay.
I want to ask you what your perspective was growing up with the older dudes, right? And like you can tell the Hooker Rodeo Roundup story.
Oh,
We
man.
can tell all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing that I thought about this week, and it really struck home, was this. So my kids start in school, freshman year at a new school. She knows like a handful of kids, but she doesn't really know it's stressful as fuck. She's a freshman. She's going
they
to a
in
new
school?
environment. Yeah, they're in school.
Yeah.
It's exciting though too.
So first of all, she has like so many goddamn like advantages. Like she's already playing. Like she's tried out for freshman volleyball, and they immediately moved her up to JV, and they'll probably move her up to varsity like halfway through the season because it's like basically what the coach's idea is, I think. So I'm like, kid, you're already on a sports team, so that's like
Right.
instant like somebody that you know.
Right.
I'm like, secondly, I'm like, you're playing up with the upperclassmen, so I was like, so that makes you just cooler. It used to anyway. I don't know what the rules are now, but like, she's got a good thing going. But essentially, she was asking me like, how long was I in? Because I have a pretty good sized group of friends from high school that I still maintain, contact with, and she was just essentially asking me how long before I had made my clique or group or whatever. And I was like, it takes the whole experience of it all is what makes you guys friends. And I was explaining to her that friendships are forged through the bonds of some kind of like experience and trial.
Right.
Right?
I agree with
when
that.
you go through some sort of like the reason that like when you play sports like football or what for as an example, American football, that like theoretically like all the dudes on the team are like like one teams because like they go to double sessions during practice and it sucks balls. They're out there killing themselves.
I hate it.
Right? I hated it too. But like they're going through these like torturous discomfort things together as a group, and when they come out of it, they have a bond, right? And so like Army dudes, military people, especially if they've seen action, right? Like that makes a friendship for life, right? And so I was explaining to my kid, and then it dawned on me, I was like, man, I hang out and maintain good relations with a lot of my high school buddies and one or two of my college buddies. I was like, but all the major people that I associate with today on a regular basis, they're all from the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is that? And I was like, because we went through thick and thin together.
it was so hot.
We went through the
Fucking-
summers,
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
New
Worst.
Year's Eve, Christmas
New Year's
Eve, Mother's Day. Valentine's Day. Like pick a day that you're supposed to go out and do something else, and we had to go work and do something shitty. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it forged lifelong friendships, is what I think. So, what do you think about that? Is what I have to say.
I agree with it. I mean, but also like, I don't know, like for her, she's going into a new school, so it's tough, but she'll make friends on the teams and
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. She's gonna be fine. I'm just
Yeah.
saying the act of going through trials together, I think, makes people closer.
definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some of my closest friends, I look at it now, it's like, when you look at it, we don't have a ton in common, either like just life or politically or what we believe in, but we all went through something crazy together growing up, and that's never going to change.
What is it like working in a hospital and you're there trying to keep people alive and they die, or even better, you save somebody's life? Like, what is it like when you're working next to someone in like the trenches and you're like, it's got to be like way more emotional than like takeout, right? Like you're gonna be like, we're trying to save this person's life.
Can't be.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't know. It's
Are you making like tight bonds? Is what I'm asking.
with some people, yeah. Some people I'm work with, I couldn't give two shits about.
it's different when you're an adult, though. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like some people you jive with, It's the same thing. And some people you just don't.
I see you're a unique situation with the restaurant too, because like you were the first guy in the door, and then you got all your other little homeboys from high school jobs there. So you were already friends with those people before, but us you met there, and you're
Right,
still
true.
friends with us.
When I walked through the door and a 15-year-old kid's scared out of his mind. I was like, all these guys are like 5 years older than me, really cool.
Oh yeah,
Going to
Dishwash.
college parties, and I'm washing dishes, and it's like, what the hell's going on in this place? And
By the time I got there, you were the man there.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
You were the man there.
that's because I was broken down
yeah.
by
And rebuilt.
Candyman, Macca, your brother.
Oh, yeah.
Your brother was a big one. Mikey.
Yeah.
I never worked with Mike.
Who else? Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marco. It was
And GC.
The other,
Oh, geez. Yeah.
the other part.
GC, I don't know,
Georgia,
man.
whatever. His,
I don't know.
You
man.
guys came in at an interesting time too, because like my family owned more than one restaurant at that time. So like, CK was not even there at all.
No,
no one.
He
was,
hated me.
Nobody was running the ship. It was like it was like party. We could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I have great.
I remember.
stories.
I remember
Oh, he was
Sunday.
at the other one.
I
He was
remember
at the other one, yeah.
I remember Sunday nights. Like we'd fry up like a little bit of marijuana in some garlic oil when the restaurant had closed, and then we would like put it on top of a pizza and run it through.
Yep.
We'd all throw down a slice, and go home, shower, go down to the rally cap. That whole process was like 45 minutes because we would boom, in and out, boom. By the time we got down the rally cap, the edibles were kicking in, and we would start drinking root beer barrels and shots. I mean, we used to party fucking hard on Sundays, like every Sunday. So like, I mean, I don't. The expression that makes the most sense to describe working in a restaurant is from The Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Because that is exactly.
I'll just give my first week there. It was right after September 11th. People are, crazy. And I'm walking into this place, 15-year-old kid. It was a Friday night, and it was my first week. And I see this guy come in the back door, young-looking guy. He's got 2 big watermelons. I'm like, what the hell? We don't serve watermelon at this place.
Pat Nod?
Yeah.
We were going out partying. We used the restaurant.
I'm 15 years old. I'm like, no, he's cutting out this watermelon. And he's like hollowing it out. I'm like, is he pouring all tons of vodka in there and cutting it all up? He looks right at me. He goes, kid, don't touch this. He puts it in the fridge and he walks out.
We used to utilize the restaurant for a lot of those things. We used to make Jello shots with the Solo cups and put a whole sheet pan in the fridge. And we'd be like, "Hey, we're going out partying."
yeah, it's true.
Unfortunately, the reality was we were most likely utilizing my poor parents' restaurant to make goods to party that we were going to then throw at their house whilst they were away.
Yeah.
The poor people
We
there.
had a lot of fun.
You know what I mean? Like
Parties.
those summertime, like the summers sucked. So like working in the restaurant in the kitchen in the summer, like we had a 5-gallon bucket of water. I put ice water in, and I would literally dunk my head in there like as often as I could and come out, and I would get like a 5-second burst of relief from the heat, and then it would be like immediately pouring sweat again. But it was bad. But afterwards, boy, ooh, we were going out partying.
What's the favorite thing that you did to haze people? And I'll ask everybody if you had the chance to do it, because I know mine. I can start if
So first of all, let's just back it up before we answer that.
I know one too.
No, we'll let you go first. But the movie Waiting is about working in a restaurant. Have we all seen this film?
Yes,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that it's? Do you
Were
think
there
it's like?
when I was going
Do you
on
think
it.
it's on course or
So,
on par with what it's really?
I will
like?
say the one thing I never, ever saw in the restaurant when we were working there was people messing with food.
No, that's-
No, I never saw that either.
Never, ever saw that.
That's
Not at
true.
Mama's.
No.
And we had
Like we were very clean and
But outside of that,
made-
super clean?
outside of that, it was pretty spot on, right? You had like the drunk, miserable
Yeah, but
alcoholic
wait a second, do you think-
waitress who was like sleeping with any random cook she could
Do you
get her
think some of
hands.
these losers maybe did it without us knowing, though?
I don't
know.
know.
You had eyes.
Maybe
Even-
some of them,
even
but
I don't know. Even some of the losers are like
Sure, it happened.
took pride in like
yeah.
That place had surveillance.
food.
That place had surveillance cameras like 20 years before anyone
Oh,
else
I know.
did.
Did?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
My cousin had every exit
Never
and
saw them?
entrance covered.
No.
Every part of the restaurant was covered before
yeah.
cameras were a thing. Who knows how much it was? That was probably like that was probably like 60 grand in surveillance equipment.
Right.
Whereas now it would be like, oh yeah, it's $1,500. You're all set.
Yeah, right.
Hey, the doorbell. That's that's $100.
Yeah.
All right. Macca asked us our favorite things for hazing. I guess there were lots of different things over the years we did to haze new people in. I'll come up with a couple because it's difficult for me to say my favorite one. But
Yeah. Well, let me tell two.
okay, you go ahead.
So one is not mine, but it's a funny story. So our friend Marco, who worked there for many years, great cook, still to this day, one
cooks
of
a
the
lot.
greatest cooks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef,
He's a great cook.
self-taught chef.
Been to Thailand with him twice. We went down to a Thai market one time. He had them slaughter a bunch of animals on the spot. He had them
Yeah.
chop up all the spices. He dug a hole. He threw all this meat in a hole. He
Yep.
put a fire on top of it. It was fucking. He was a man.
Yeah, absolutely. So So he used to, we had to call down to the dishwashers to get us new meatballs, and they would have to come with a tray. And one guy, his name was Jaime. Jaime was like taking a stand, and he's like, "No, I'm not getting them." And Marco came down, and he goes, "Meatballs," and he whipped the tray out
Violently.
violently. And the guy did it after that, but my favorite thing that I used to do is at one level when I advanced,
There's a social pecking order to the whole thing.
yeah, well, I negotiated
make
my
it up.
way into the office
Up the ladder.
to be able to change the music. And what I would do when everyone was pissing me off or I was just in a prick mood, I would just put Guns N' Roses' "Sweet Child of Mine" on repeat.
And my brother was the
And it
only
would
one
be-
who didn't mind.
He loves that
Everybody
song.
else hated
So
it.
he had the quick story about that.
All day.
There was one Sunday when your brother was in charge, he had us listen to that song for 10 hours straight on repeat.
Yes.
What's the matter?
Were you there, Becca?
Yeah. Me and him and I invented it together.
Yeah, he can listen to
That's their
songs.
thing.
He can listen to songs over and over and over again.
Right.
Same song.
10 hours. 10
Oh my God,
hours on
Eddie,
repeat.
Eddie Money. If I could walk on water.
Yeah, yeah.
Every of your parents' speakers.
It must run in the family because we listen to Bubba O'Reilly for
Oh yeah,
straight
great drinking song.
10 years.
Yeah.
I still listen
Yeah.
to it.
But then, man, I
So
used to get joy off of fucking GC flipping out. I fucking can't listen to this song anymore.
Yeah.
Well, he's a weak human being, number one. And number two, you're talking about an activity that is kind of used in like Guantanamo Bay as a torture technique. So like the job we were doing down there was already like kind of a rough job. Like
Right.
they didn't need to be subjected to like
No.
psychological torture, like the same song over,
Great song.
over and over. No, you can't stop listening to it.
The room would be locked.
Jesus.
Nobody could get in. It was
So, yeah, the Sweet Child of Mine's been ruined for me. Not only because of that,
I still love it.
but
Yeah, I do too.
the reason that song was chosen is because like my bro loves that song,
right.
and he told me one time, and I have like a pretty good memory, so like I can't forget things. Unfortunately, everyone always thinks it's so good to have a great memory. I'm like, yeah, except when you remember things that hurt or suck or like are bad, and you have to like, Buddha your way out of it constantly.
Right.
But one thing I remember is my bro told me one time that when he dies, he wants "Sweet Child of Mine" to be the song playing when they lower him into the ground in the casket. And like I can't listen to the song without this like sad visual of my brother being dead and we're like putting him in the ground.
That's
you
like
know?
me with Freebird. I
And
want
like
Freebird.
me and Dan were at Guns N' Roses. We ran into your sister, which was like a mathematical.
Oh, it's crazy. I come down and Chris has his shirt off and she's standing there next to him.
Well, it was just a mathematical insanity
I'm
that
like-
we would run into each other in the middle of
50,000
Fenway at a
people.
sold out
Right.
concert at the
Yeah.
at the exact point in space time I decide to go get a Diet Coke. She happens to be walking by. I mean, that's insane. But anyway, we're at Guns N' Roses, which was fucking awesome. Let's have a
yeah. I have one hazing thing too, but
and I bet you do. And Sweet Child of Mine came on, and everyone else was all excited, and I was just like pitting my stomach, sad, thinking about my brother dying, and I had to text him like, "Hey, Slash is wailing out the chords for Sweet Child of Mine right now, but it's ruined. Thanks."
Yeah, sorry.
All right, so my favorite hazings, I obviously I was pretty high on the social pecking order by the time you guys. All right, first of all, let's cover that. Okay, I was abused as a child from age 10 to age 17 in that place by people that were like all older than me and just like they didn't like working there, and I was the owner's kid and I was just like too young to like defend myself.
yeah,
And like
yeah.
these are like grown men,
Right.
basically like abusing me, including my cousin. It was fucked up. It was not.
I can't picture that.
It wasn't a fun time in my life. But then once I got older and obviously I became good at Taekwondo and could kill everybody. Nobody really bothered me anymore. You know what I mean? And then and also I was accepted. Me and Mikey became buddies, and me and the man in question with the patent on with I was probably with him, driving him, he didn't have the authority to just show up at the restaurant and pour booze into, I was probably with him when he did it so he didn't get fired or whatever.
No, you were working.
Or yeah, I might have been like, yeah, come on down, do it right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want it ready for when I get out of here so we can party. You know what I mean? I got like 20 chicks I invited to the pool.
I don't
tonight.
even think he worked there at that.
No, he didn't.
Who knows?
He had just left.
Well, it didn't matter because no one was running the place. We could do whatever we want.
CK was over at
Yeah.
Mill.
Chick was stoned in the office. You know?
Not Mill. It was the other one, right?
No.
Grill.
No, when I started there, it was still Millhouse.
Okay. I kind of worked at all of them at one point a little bit.
So anyway, what I want to say was like once I was, high on the pecking order and able to do hazing, because like I was the one who was hazed for like a 5 to 6 year period, of crucial emotional years, by the way. What can you do? Anyway, one of my favorites was when new dishwashers would start. I would give them a 1 shift grace period just to
Oh
like.
my God, mine with dishwashers too.
Of
They
course.
get the worst.
They're
Go
the
ahead.
youngest and the newest. They're the
Yeah.
easiest to pick on.
Oh, they're sitting fucking ducks.
So you get these new kids and they're coming in and they're like 15, whatever. And I gave them a 24-hour or 1 shift grace period because maybe they're going to quit on the first shift. I don't know. I don't want to add to that and have it be my fault, right?
If they have any weakness or
But the s-
ugliness to them, you're gonna point this out.
No, not me. I'm not like that. But what I would do is I'd walk right up to them and I'd say, "Hey, kid, you ever see a grown man naked?" like the pilot from fucking
They never
Airplane.
knew what to say.
Oh, they were 15-year-old kids back then with like homophobia was like still
Rampant.
a massive thing. They were like, the answer was yes if you were cool, but like it was a test. Like kids would be like, no, what? You know, you're gross, weirdo. Like, I'd be like, just fucking peel the potatoes, you little shit. All right? But yeah, grown man naked was one of my favorites.
I think that's the first thing you ever said to me.
Yeah, it
probably
definitely was. It definitely
probably.
was.
Like, hey,
You ever seen a grown man
You ever see a
naked?
grown man naked?
You ever been in a Turkish prison?
I think you probably were like, yeah, my baseball. I think you probably gave me like.
I was
three,
like, I was kind of like
my
confused.
little league coach.
I was just like,
Yeah, you're caught off guard by it.
my
All
dad.
I mean, yeah, we all have.
My dad a couple times.
right, Dan, what's yours?
So mine's a dishwasher too. So Mike came back to the restaurant at some point when I was at my end, and there was this dishwasher. I don't know if you guys remember. He's like 4 feet tall. He was a little kid, and he was telling Mike that he's going to be a professional wrestler in WWE.
No.
And Mike was like, "Oh,
no.
boy." He destroyed this kid. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He destroyed this kid, saying like, just put him in his place. Like, you're never gonna be anything close to a
Basically
professional athlete.
shit on his
You're a
game.
little shit. Those guys are huge and athletic. You're just a little shit.
You're nothing.
Yeah, the kid was like, no. I'm gonna work hard enough to be a WWE wrestler.
In fairness,
No, you're not.
In fairness, my bro got Jay Bulls pretty jacked at one point in his
He
life.
did. He literally force fed him to.
This dude that worked at the restaurant, who's a
on the right?
solid cat.
No idea what the
Jay
kid on the
was-
left is.
Who's the kid on the left?
That's the 4 foot tall dishwasher.
Shut the fuck up! He actually did it.
He did it.
He's not
No
professional,
fucking-
but
well, he's professional. If you're doing it in a ring in front of people, you're professional.
Oh, you better send
yeah.
that to my brother.
All right. I gotta tell you, brother, this later.
Somebody
This
send that
kid
to Mike.
actually made it as a professional wrestler. I apologize to the universe.
Whoa,
I will never
whoa.
doubt anybody again.
Settle down, buddy. You're gonna blow the mic.
Holy shit.
He did it.
Holy
He got a little taller
shit.
too.
So I guess what we're trying to say is my bro propelled this kid into.
He was
He
part
was
of
like-
the haters.
He told him you could never do it,
He
and
was
I just
one of the,
confirmed it.
He was
and
one of the
kid actually did it.
naysayers that they're gonna rue the day that now he's
Okay,
got him.
okay, that is fucking insane.
Kid did it.
The kid actually did it, and I was just shitting
What's
on
his
him.
name? What's his name?
Steve Oliveira.
Hey, Steve Oliveira, you
I'm sorry, Steve.
son of a bitch.
You did it, man.
You
You
did
did
it,
it.
buddy. We're proud of you.
Shut the fuck up.
We're gonna follow him
That
on
little
IG.
shit did it.
he ever-
did it. He did
Mike
it.
destroyed his world when he told me he's never gonna step in a ring ever. Maybe it's like midget wrestling.
Guess what?
Guess what?
did it.
He did it.
Guess what,
That's
bitch?
professional wrestling. He's not in the WWF.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
professional
great.
wrestling. People
Good.
come to see him.
I have a buddy of mine.
Wow.
I have a buddy of mine who follows us on IG, Aaron Agony or O the Agony. I'm not sure what, but he does that type of wrestling down in Florida.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool,
And
I
he's
think.
and he's a long hair.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool. I think. He's
Yeah,
not,
you
like
would-
really good shape, but he looked.
He
looks-
does some
He's not
high,
like out of shape
he
either.
does some like high flying shit, like jumping off the top turnbuckle backflip, like nail a dude.
I mean, he's not jacked, but he's like.
No, he's not.
He looks like he's in good shape though. He looks like a normal wrestler.
He's a pretty good.
He's got cool
He's a pretty good.
attire.
He's a pretty good member of my online squad.
Yeah,
when
he has
he's-
pretty cool attire. I
when
like
he's
it.
had sufficient amounts of he does a lot of blow, the guy, so it's like when he's on the right dosage, he's a good player. If he's had too much, he stinks, and if he hasn't had any, he stinks.
James, what was your favorite?
Of course, it also involved dishwashers. I got hazed as a
Yeah.
youngin.
Yep.
It was just stupid stuff. I would,
Yeah, nothing.
You know, I would take a box and label it like JoJo glue.
Yeah,
And then make it draw a picture of a middle finger, put it inside the box.
yeah.
And then I'd put it upstairs in the stock room.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, one of you dishwashers, this kid. I remember this kid, his name was Scotty.
Yeah.
He was like the nicest kid ever. And I'm like, the JoJo's exploded in the broaster. I need you to run upstairs and get me a box of JoJo glue.
See, the reason
He ran upstairs. He comes flying downstairs holding the box, and he just holds up this picture of a middle finger, and I'm like,
That's amazing. That is fucking
suck it,
amazing.
Suck
Trebek.
it, Trebek. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What was the other-
Trebek.
What was the other shit? There was other things too. It was like, oh, I need a it was like, I need a bucket of air. It's
Bucket
in
of
the-
air.
Steam.
Kids would be
Bucket of
bucket of
Bucket of
steam.
steam, yeah.
They had a bucket of steam. It's in the freezer, and kids would be running in there looking for a bucket of steam. And you'd open it up, and there would just be a
yeah, pickle,
pickle.
potatoes
Yeah,
or something.
like
You guys had it easy you were given.
Oh, I was given
You were
nicknames.
giving it to them easy because drawing the middle finger is actually beautiful.
No,
But
that's
the,
brilliant.
Hilarious.
That's brilliant.
The stuff I got when I was younger, they were like throwing corks from the bottles of wine at my
Oh,
head when
they
I
used to-
couldn't see.
people
and then
used to-
they
you
would
guessed.
really sting when they hit you.
some of them used to take like the bread tabs from the
fling them at your jugular.
fling them at you. Yeah, fling them from those things fly.
Oh, yeah.
those
Oh,
things
yeah.
fly.
Yeah.
Pulp
Yeah,
can
that was a terrible.
There was some of us who got nicknames. Mine.
I was gonna say one of my favorite hazing abilities was I was predominantly one of the ones who would hand out the nickname for a dishwasher, and that thing was like fucking. When you got that was it. So like, remember, I don't know if you were there when Pubes worked
Pubes
there.
and I worked at the same time.
So
yeah.
this kid,
Wonder what Pubes is now.
this fucking kid, this kid showed up and he had red hair.
Oh no.
And we had originally called him Fire Pubes, but it was just too much to say, so we just shortened it to Pubes. And like everyone in the restaurant would pick up on it, and eventually they'd be calling out, "Pubes, I need a fucking stack of, small plates and some fucking, Pubes, bring me a tray of chicken thighs." You know what I mean? And like he didn't fight it. He was like, "Yep, I got it."
Mine for a little while was Jack Mehoff.
Yeah.
I had severe tendonitis in my wrist from a shatter of my wrist when I was like 13.
yeah, I remember.
Jay Ashenbo sees me wrapping it up one day. He's like, "What's the matter with your wrist, kid?" I'm like, "Oh, I got a little tendonitis." He's like, "Ah, were you jacking off too much?" And I was like, "No, well, yeah, but no." And he's like, "All right, everyone, new name." That was Jack Mehoff.
I wonder if I worked there
For the next 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
You were blacked out on pills. So let me ask you.
I remember you and like 3 other people
You got
and waitresses.
there was like how many years did you work at Chicken and Chips?
Like 6.
You became like thick as thieves with these weirdos from this
Oh, they're
restaurant.
not weirdos. I like them to this day. One of them died.
Oh yeah, but do you think it was just the drugs, or do you think it was the drugs?
No, I was friends with them before it, and I'm still friends with some of them now.
But weren't you all using together?
Not all of us. Some of us, yeah.
My understanding was that you guys were like this group of people who like
No.
everyone was popping pills and you were all working
No,
there.
we partied together a lot, but no.
Gotcha. Okay.
They had a house up in Merrimack.
That's why I'm asking
they
these
rented,
questions. I wanted to
and so I slept at their house in Merrimack like every weekend.
Didn't they have a car that ran on fry later? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I used to drive it around for deliveries. So you would get the diesel and heat it up,
Volkswagen
and then you
Beetle?
would switch. Yeah, you drive it diesel. Once the vegetable oil would heat up, you would switch it over. So we would filter oil from the frylators when they were, it was like black, and then we put it in the
Gross.
cars.
Yeah, well,
So he could use it to fuel his cars. He saved so much money.
well, what was cool about that whole movement, and it sucks that I don't think it ever really went anywhere, was that restaurants were paying people a fee to remove our dirty, gross oil.
Right, and
And
this guy
now
was-
these
yeah.
guys were coming out and saying, we're going to take your oil for free because we're going to filter it and run our engines on it.
Yeah,
And it's going to recycle all this oil, and it's good
it was
for the
insane.
environment.
It smelled like a French fry inside, but it was insane.
Dude, I put it on our Instagram, but I harvested a sunflower the other night. Most potato chips, I think, are boiled in sunflower oil because, dude, after I like took all the seeds off the sunflower, my hand reeked like it reeked like sunflower oil, but I was smelling potato chips, like
Whoa.
Cape Cod potato chips.
Those are good.
I have one out back. We can do an experiment, but yeah, we had some pretty fucking sick parties, man. We had some wild adventures. We were talking the other night about, I was actually at Mikey's house and we were telling the story about how like we go out partying at the Rally Cap till like 2 a.m. and then we would like drive hammered down to like the casino.
Oh no!
And like we had like grabbed Nanda, who was like 19 at the time.
He's a good drunk
So, like,
driver.
totally under. I mean, he was technically over 18, but he was not 21, and we like fed him a bunch of booze and threw him in the car. He had no idea what was going. He was sleeping in a bed at my parents' house, and we just went in there and like accosted him and threw him in the car and started forcing down booze. And we're like, "Hey, we're going to a casino." This dude like literally shit, not him, but this other guy Julio literally shit his pants on.
Yeah,
the,
I remember that. Julio shit his pants.
but yeah, it was no good. Hooker Rodeo Roundup though. How old were you when we had that? That was your first.
I don't.
Was that your first
was not
time?
me.
Was it Jay?
No, it wasn't. It was Brian.
Yeah.
BP.
Oh,
He went. I went the year later.
You went
which
to other
was-
parties though.
So the first party I ever went to, I just turned 16 and got my license. Me
Cool.
and my buddy Rob, who also works at the restaurant, go to your house for the 80s party.
Isn't that where I met you?
Yeah, that's where we met.
Before
Yeah.
Mama.
that's
Yeah.
the night Nanda crashed and died.
So we roll up to the house.
That was going to be a great party. I remember it was like ass city because there was I had invited no one but women.
We roll up to the
Period.
house.
Like
And
50
we,
of them.
We walk into the house and we walk up the steps into like your green room. And I just see this guy getting carried out, blood pouring off of his head, and just screaming things that didn't make sense.
Yeah, what kind of a sight is that for a 16-year-old?
And I look over. We're 16. I look over at Rob. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Chris told me this was gonna be Candyman told me it was gonna be a great time, and it was awesome. You know, we made a lot of cool people, and we were like 16. You guys were 21 or 20. I can't remember. And
We were in fact underage, I believe. I think I was 20,
Nah, we were older.
maybe 21.
maybe.
We were older.
Yeah, I think you guys were 21. That's where I first met Danimal over here, and
You're like, hi, I'm Jimmy.
yeah, we were like in the corner, like pumping the keg, having a beer, and we were just terrified. But it was awesome. It was like our introduction into life.
I appreciate that.
What's I want to tell one story of me and Marco, we one day where it's like 100 degrees, it's in the summer, middle of summer, and we're like, all right, you know what? Let's fucking bring in a 30 pack. We'll just drink beers all day. Right? So we're both working doubles.
Who's gonna say anything?
Who's gonna say anything? No one's gonna know, right? Right? But then Jay's working. J.A. Achimbo. And a young man named Jay. And
Dan hates him.
I don't hate Jay. I just think he just doesn't shut up.
well, yeah, exactly. So we're like, all right, yeah, you can have some. And
In fairness, the only time you meet him, he's hammered.
yeah,
Hammered, and like he'll tell me about the universe. Like
Yeah.
he'll like hear that like my profession, and he'll start spouting off shit. I'm like, all right, listen, I know all this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and like not let me respond. So I'm like, this guy just wants somebody to talk at.
yeah.
So you
exactly.
guys split a 30 rack on a shift?
Well,
10
no,
beers apiece?
No. So at some point, kind of Jay takes over, and I'm pretty sure he drank like, I would say 18 to 20 of that 30 pack. And by 8 o'clock, when it's his time to leave, he is fucking stumbling drunk, and he can't. He's right. He's expediting.
Working on violators and hot shit.
Yeah, he is shit faced drunk.
Thank God people
And he's
love
talking shit, and he's fucking stumbling around. I
feel like I was there for that.
Yeah, you probably were. He was fucking hammered, and we were just like, "Oh, cool." That ruined those plans.
Wait, did he drive home?
Oh, of course.
No.
But he lived right down the street.
No. He didn't drive. He didn't have a ride. He
that's
used to
right.
rollerblade everywhere.
Yes,
He
right.
rollerbladed.
Shut up, he did not.
He rollerbladed.
Straight up, son. Rollerblade
He rollerbladed.
to and from work. Came in one time all fucked up because he wiped out. Probably wasted.
Why do you rollerblade?
Because he didn't have a car, man.
There were a lot of people in the restaurant. He either walked,
He's an
rode
engineer
bikes,
now.
rollerbladed. He's an engineer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he was.
Plastics.
Yeah,
He's smart.
he's a smart dude, but
But he thinks he's the smartest dude on the planet.
Right.
But he's
So,
smart.
who's your favorite weirdo?
There's a lot of them.
I can tell mine if you guys want time to think about it.
Yeah.
All right. Mine is this guy. I forget his name. He's like 6'4". He came in towards the end of my tenure.
I remember his name.
But James was there, and he had like the most architecturally sound beer belly I've ever seen in my entire life. And he was a tall, lanky fucker too. So
He was like a stick figure with
he was he was a stick
Perfectly
figure with
round.
a perfect
How does that
beer
happen?
belly. I don't
I
know.
vaguely remember this character.
sounded like Pee Wee.
Did he have glasses?
No.
Brown hair?
Not, he had brown
Always
hair.
wore a hat though.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Did men, I noticed this, are men ever servers at Mama's?
No,
No, right?
There's been I don't
Usually
know.
women.
as far as I know.
I don't know why the dichotomy of separation of male and female labor
Other restaurants have lots of men. servers.
occurred, but at that particular restaurant, this is a weird thing, so it's interesting that you bring it up. At that particular restaurant, to my knowledge, there's been one male who ever worked outside in the, not counting myself or the manager.
If you go in, there's a man that can be like,
We had one dude who was a busboy at one point, and he also, I think, might have waited tables briefly, but that was very brief. And then we've only had 2 females, I think, ever work in the kitchen behind the line. Obviously, the infamous Donna, and then we had, remember,
Donna.
Jamie.
Donna was good, wasn't she? Wasn't
was-
Donna good at what she did?
Donna- great.
There was also a Brazilian girl for a little.
Okay, I don't
short
remember
time.
her. Maybe I didn't work there at that
that
particular
was-
point. But
Yeah, that was.
But the other thing, but the other restaurants, we didn't do that.
whoever.
We had waiters, waitresses, people, men and women working in the kitchen, everything. But at that one restaurant, for whatever
A lot of
reason,
high-end
it's,
restaurants have men,
it's locked
servers.
in. It's locked
yeah.
into
right? Like a lot of high-end restaurants have men. Like even like in 80s movies, it's always men. But then it's like the family type places, it's always women.
Right.
It's weird.
So anyway, let me finish this story about this tall, lanky, beer belly motherfucker. Right. So this dude, he was just an annoying guy in general, and one of the world class champion level loser people, I think.
really.
But he was a close talker, and he would come right next to you, and when he first started, he was obviously, when you first start, you're doing the easiest thing. So he's doing pasta. So on takeout, you call for pasta, and he'd come over, and he'd put the thing in the tray, and he'd just stand there, and he'd look out into the out the window into the crowd of people. He would just fucking stand there, and to the point, and like he'd put his belly on you, like his belly would be touching your fucking arm and
Like
shit.
get the fuck out of here.
And there was one point I flipped out. I'm like, "Can you get the fuck off me? Your belly is on me. Get the fuck out of here!" And he just
I used to tell
walked
him,
away.
I used to tell him to get away from the window because he was creepy.
I would
People
ru-
on the restaurant like, who's
Creepy
this guy
kid.
in the window?
Yeah.
Who hired him? How could you hire him?
Right. He was in his 30s at the time, so he might even been late 30s.
He's,
And that's older
he
than
was,
us
He was
then.
in his early 30s, I think, but he looked about 50.
I would have
he
rubbed.
drank-
I would have
he
rubbed his
drank
belly.
beers.
Like just.
I got
started rubbing it.
another story about him.
Let's hear it.
It's a quick story. Guy, he's had a checkered past. Yeah. But he did some time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he was a close talker. He told me.
How did
he's
he
like,
get hired there?
Whatever.
Because that's half the people we hire. It's good
I guess.
That's how
people.
it goes. Yeah.
So it was
It's
like,
not half. It's like
it was a Saturday.
80.
Saturday. He was on Friday night. Get paid Friday night.
yeah.
Doesn't show up to work Saturday. Scheduled to work Saturday night.
Classic.
Doesn't show up Sunday. Monday.
That's it, right?
Get
You
a-
fired him.
Monday.
For that, right?
Monday phone call. It's whoever, some local police department. He's looking to talk to the manager because
He'd been arrested.
he'd been arrested Friday night. He's looking for an advance on his. He's looking for a 3-week advance on his pay because he was at Motel Caswell with 2 hookers and
Nothing wrong with that.
was doing a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
And then don't know the details, but him and these hookers wound up in the backseat of a drug dealer's car. They get pulled over by cops. They all get arrested.
Jeez.
I don't know what happened to him after that. I didn't see him around.
Right.
3-week advance.
Yeah,
3-week
because he
advance.
needed to get bailed out.
People
Yeah.
are-
Sorry, buddy.
People are weird when they've got like that'll ask you for money and like it's like No.
No.
What? It's a ridiculous request, man. Like, you've not showed up to work because you're in jail, and like, I mean, I guess that's kind of a good.
He wasn't that good anyway.
No,
so,
he was awful.
Yeah.
By some mathematical absurdity, I've never been actually taken into custody or arrested. So like,
I've been close.
I'm trying to empathize with these people because I feel like I should have been. So I'm in like no position to like look down on them for it. But it just
I've
hasn't
been
never
so
happened yet.
close to getting arrested one time. So close. I don't know how it didn't happen, but it was drug related.
I have a really difficult time pinning down who my like favorite or ultimate weirdo was. I have some,
There are some bizarre people that work behind.
because I will tell you this: some of the hottest babes I've ever been with in my life were waitresses at that restaurant when I was like a young kid too.
I remember some.
There was some hot babes at work there. I mean,
Jimmy's remembering some right now.
ridiculously hot. Yeah. I was going to tell a story about that tonight, actually. So I guess I'd have to give it to, and I don't even know if you know him. Mark knows him. God, we call him Dead Bob because he died.
Big Dead Bob, right?
Dead
Yeah,
Bob.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
He was up there. There was another Bob that had also died. So I have two Bobs that were weirdos that died of overdoses that they like.
He's dead now?
They like worked a few shifts. Like they started working there, and this one dude claimed to have known Chick from back in the day, and Chick was the manager. So like he like showed up on the scene like he was like showing up to his first day of prison, you know, like he was like trying to like establish his territory and let everyone know like him and the manager go way back, which was like not true at all. And you know, meanwhile I'm like, yeah, it's cool, man, I'm the owner's son, so you know, these are my homies, so you don't have any juice on us, you know. And this dude was, he worked a few shifts and then he just didn't show up, and we're all like, what happened to the guy? And he had OD'd on heroin way back before people were, you know, before it was like a major blown epidemic. This is like, people didn't do heroin back then. If they did, it was super secret. Obviously, people have been doing heroin nonstop.
I was going to say, they've been doing heroin consistently.
Since it hit the scene 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 years ago, however it is. But I'm saying is, it wasn't like it is now. You know, back then you didn't know people that OD'd. Now it's
Well, now there's fentanyl, and it's not even heroin. My brother told me it's not even heroin coming into court anymore. It's just fentanyl.
So I'm going to go with one of the two Dead Bobs as my favorite weirdos. Although Jocko was a fucking real weirdo, a dude that worked there. It wasn't even his real name. We just called him that. And
Nicknames that stuck.
yeah,
I don't have any weirdos there because I have no memory.
that's right.
Well, in general, do you have any favorite from your restaurant life?
Oh. Yeah. I had some weirdos. Pal's Pizza, there was this guy named Flavio. He was Brazilian, and he was just a fucking weirdo. And he made this clam chowder for us. It was like the greatest clam chowder ever for like a special. And then because we knew he worked at the Outback before that, and we found that it was just the Outback's recipe we were making. It was so good though. It was
Yeah, it
like
was good
bacon
chip
clam
chowder.
chowder. It was really good.
Hey, they
But
they
no,
put a lot of money into that recipe.
Chicken and Chips had a bunch of weirdos start that like one of them got stabbed in the heart like over $5, and like it was just a crazy place to work. It's like homeless people would come in and try to sell us drugs, and they'd like try to sell us Tylenol. We're like, get that shit out of here. We'd look stuff up on our phone.
You knew the real stuff.
We knew the real stuff, yeah. But like I had a good time. Like I cherished that time in my life.
Oh, it was formidable years. For
Yeah,
me.
and because I worked at Chicken and Chips, and then I left, and I started working at Mama's for a little bit. But then I worked at both Mama's and Chicken and Chips at the same time, and then I went back to Chicken and Chips full time. Because at Chicken and Chips, I was like Jimmy there, where I could do anything, and at Mama's, I was still kind of like learning a lot of stuff, and like it's just easier when you know how to do everything. You know what I mean? I could expedite, I could do everything.
James, you're a medical doctor. What is it about the human psychological process that we look back on these times where we were like, I mean, like I said, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, but that's literally the good old days back then, you know? Like when you're 80, you'll be like, yep, I remember that. Those were crazy times.
You don't realize the good old days are the good old days when you're going through them.
I do. I take every.
At Chicken and Chips, we'd take ecstasy at work. Like we just had
Those were the good old days.
we would take any drugs you gave us, and I just happened to get hooked on opiates because that was the most thing I got.
That was what was on the menu.
That was
at
what
the
came the
time.
most. So yeah, but like everything else just came at us. You're like, want to try this? Okay.
Yeah.
At work.
Everything.
Mid shift.
We had a thing downstairs, like where all the storage shit was, all the dry goods, and there was like a thing with like a table with like lines on it throughout the day.
Lines of drugs.
Yes, if you put your finger over it, you could make a new line. Like,
I'm guessing there was no real management
if you
going
really
on there either. Huh?
you get on your hands and knees, you could find pieces of drugs if you really were desperate enough.
If you needed it.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
get it off the dirty
Yep,
kitchen floor. Just
that's
in
a piece.
case. Yeah, that's when
That's at least 20 milligrams.
that's when you know you got a problem.
Yeah. Oh, I had a problem. So when I left Chicken and
know you
Chips, it's because my parents locked me in the house for a month.
Yeah.
I didn't quit Chicken and Chips. I didn't get fired. I was currently working there. My car had gone to shit. I had no car. Life was going down the tubes, and nobody really noticed until somebody called my parents. Like, don't you know your son's addicted to drugs? Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So they locked me in the house, and I never went back. Yeah. I went back recently for like a mercy dinner for somebody. The daughter that owned the place died.
That must have
Recently.
that
It was
must
kind
have
of
felt
weird.
Yeah.
It was really weird being in there with my friend Candace and a bunch of people that used to work there.
I think of cirrhosis of the liver, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So I think so, yeah. So I worked with Chicken and Chips of people that I worked with at PetSmart when I first met them at 17, and we had a fucking ball. So when we worked at Chicken and Chips, we were a little more fucked up, but we had a lot of fun, a lot of parties. Yeah, a lot,
different age.
Yeah.
Different time in life.
definitely different time. I'm so domesticated now, it's ridiculous.
I'll tell you what statistic I'd like to get a hold of. How many children have been produced as a result of pregnancies that occurred from people that worked
I know this
people
one.
that worked
Yeah.
at my
Yeah, I wonder what happened with this one. Like, what's with the kid? What's with the parent?
I can name
At least two that I know.
oh no, it's got to be like dozens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
At
mean
Mama's?
yeah, when I was a kid, there was a dude working pizza named Gino, and he was hooking up with the hostess, which made sense because they were in close proximity to each other.
Yep.
See, the restaurant taught me at a very young age that if you put men and women in close proximity to each other for a long enough period of time, sooner or later they're going to
mate.
they're going to start having sex with each other. Exactly. I just saw it over and over and over again, and it's just like, this is how it goes. So like this dude, I'm like 11, and he was having a baby with the girl that worked out front. The dude who was supposedly the manager when we were going through our like golden years, like
Yeah.
Rick, right? He had 2 babies with the hostess from out front.
G had a baby with the girl, didn't he?
It is literally a mathematical absurdity. I probably was just safe and used condoms, but if I didn't, I probably would have had like, I don't know, 20 kids at the restaurant. Something like 20 kids.
Really?
I mean, I hooked up with a lot of people that worked there over the years.
I know of 3 that came out of a marriage that happened from that restaurant.
Sure. There you go. So,
Jay-
I mean,
my buddy Jay and his wife.
that's right.
They met there when they're like
Bingo.
16.
That's what
Do
I'm
a
saying.
documentary.
There's got to be some sort of
Mama's
homework.
kids.
There's got to be a homework done on it. But I'm saying we've produced some children over the years. There's been other couples that have, whether they're together now or not, it's irrelevant. But they met there, shit went down, and we produced children. And so it's like I want to look into it and get the real number, like since day one. But it'd be tough, We'd have to. I don't know where that data would be stored to even research.
I think it's especially for me and my buddies when we came in, we were young, 15. Like it was our first interaction with females outside of like school or sports, where it was like workplace. It was
It's different.
It's
too.
different.
It's different.
It's just like you're learning, and I'm being around you guys. I learned so much from you.
And you were getting
And there's flirting with
you. No, you were
Yeah.
getting hit on by older girls that worked
Oh
there.
yeah, I was like by the time I was 18, it was like open season for the older ladies on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like most of the girls that worked there didn't go to the same high school.
No, none of them went to the same high school. So there was you meet people from other schools, other ages. It was just like fireworks in my brain every day going into that place. I loved it.
I slept with Dan's cousin Janessa.
Oh yeah.
Where was that?
When she worked at the restaurant.
She worked there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
and
even
that's
better.
and that's one of my most cherished, prized
I know, you like that one.
experiences of my life, bro.
I know.
That's like when I die, I'm gonna be like, oh god, that was amazing times.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
I'm not talking bad about her.
I'm not. I don't care.
I'm putting
That's
her
what I'm
on.
saying.
I'm putting her on a very
I
high
don't care.
pedestal.
My younger self might have been like, "Oh, it's my cousin."
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
just
give a fuck.
I'm just saying that there's been a lot of situations. I'll tell you one that got out of control quick, and this is one I wanted to share on the air because it's my poor parents. I was younger. I don't know where. I must have still been living at the house because I brought these girls home. But one of the women that worked at the restaurant, and I didn't work there at the time, so I must have been 26. I don't know what the hell how old I was, but
You take breaks sometimes, right?
we went. This is when they used to have that big Halloween party in Drake-It at the Village Inn. Is that where they have
Yeah, I
it?
used to throw that. That was me.
Used to be part of that crew, right? That like organized that. Yep. So all right. So we're there, and there are these three women. One of them works at the restaurant, and they're dressed like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and they're wearing all these leather and chains. They're all gothed out, whips and crazy, right? So I don't know. Whatever happened, I ended up getting all three of them to come home with me, and like I'm literally hooking up with these three girls at once while my poor parents are like in the house sleeping or whatever. And what happened was two of them ended up going outside and getting into a
I remember this.
fist fight in the middle of the street.
The cops got called.
The police got called, and the fire
remember this.
department, everybody, 911.
This was like,
There's
oh my God.
there are these two
I never.
cat women dressed like cat women fighting out in the middle of the street and making all kinds of noise, and it was rough. So now the cops show up while I'm upstairs hiding in my bedroom with one of the girls. My parents have been woken up and roused by all the racket and noise. They come out, they're talking to the police who are knocking on our door because the two women are insisting that I've got the third girl upstairs with me. So my mother is flipping the fuck out, trying to kill me. She's like, you brought a girl to this house while we were here, blah, blah, blah. She's furious. And the girl comes, the two girls outside had like ripped the shit out of each other's hair. I mean, they would look like a hot mess dressed in leather. This other girl comes down wearing all leather and carrying a whip and shit. She was all half dressed, like scooping up her belongings. My mom must have said 1,500 rosaries straight after that night. But so the cops are there, and the girl that worked at the restaurant, her husband, they're going to release her. She's not getting arrested. So her husband has to come pick her up now. So I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? How can this get any worse? I've got my parents fucking hating me right now. My dad's ready to murder me because I've like disturbed the peace, literally, of the entire neighborhood, but mostly him.
I wasn't even there, but I knew it was happening at the time.
I disturbed his slumber. That's all he needed to know, right? And made my mom angry. And then meanwhile, this guy, all of a sudden there's a husband in the equation while I was just messing around with these girls like an hour ago. I'm like, oh God, please don't have this guy show up and like flip out and try to kill me, right? So like, or shoot at my house or like with my parents in there or anything like that, right? So then my father like basically says to me like, get the fuck out of here. Like, take that last, because one girl got arrested because she swung at the cop. She was going in. The Tammy C got taken home by her husband, and her cousin, the third one, the odd girl out, the cops didn't give a shit what was going on. They left, whatever. My dad just says, get the fuck out of here and go home, get this girl home. And I want everyone gone, right? So I'm trying to drive her back like 2 towns from where we were, and she's like still like jumping on me and like trying to hook up with me and stuff while I'm driving. So I'm like, fuck, all right, real quick. So I pull the car behind the restaurant.
Oh,
okay, this
no.
is why this is relevant.
You got caught again, right?
This is why this is relevant. So I pull the car around the restaurant because it was the first place in the middle of the night I could pull over. And I was like, hey, it's my family's property. We'll pull back here. No one will bother us. The cops that were at my parents' house like 30 minutes ago dealing with that hot mess were still on duty. They saw some car pulling behind the restaurant, not come out. They went to investigate it, and they caught us like half nude in the back of the car. So then the guy just shows up with the flashlight, and he's looking at me just like half grinning, but like shaking his head like he can't fucking believe it. And he looks at me and he's like, and he says, you just don't want to call it a night tonight, huh? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to drive this girl home and I'll be out. And I'm probably like half in the bag. I'd probably had a couple of drinks or whatever. But I was like, I was sober at this point because my parents were going to kill me and the adrenaline had sobered me right up. But man, I got caught by the same cops twice in one night with, in the
Your dad never heard that though, right? He would have been so pissed if you
I'm
just
sure.
drive around.
I'm sure it got
Oh,
back to
man.
him. I'm
Yeah.
sure it got back to him. There's not a lot that escapes him. So
Damn.
that's a restaurant story.
Funny that
Hell yeah.
that was in the little wrinkle in my brain somewhere, and I had forgotten about it for over 20 years, and then it just comes back.
Hell yeah.
Weird.
So that's what I'm talking about. I can't forget things. So like there are certain memories. Yeah, I know. I hear you. So anyway, that's just some of the stories we have from working down there.
I want to give a shout out to the dishwasher kid who twice he was cutting potatoes and he got potato juice in his eye and it swelled shut. Give a shout out to him. That was probably 20 years ago. Give a shout out to him. I don't know where he is.
somewhere he's telling that story to people.
The potato juice kid.
Yeah, he got it
Yeah,
twice.
I remember that
His
kid.
eyes swelled shut. He
We
came
called
over.
him Juice.
He had to go home.
There's a very specific word. I don't even know if you're allowed to say it, but we've had some. It's a very specific word to describe some of the people that have showed up there to wash dishes, and it's mongoloid.
Yeah, you probably can't.
It's pretty easy though. It's an
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
job.
Wait, can I say mongoloid?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think it's appropriate anymore. I don't think any of that talk is really appropriate. But yeah, I mean,
We've had some colorful people show up,
we have really colorful people.
and we've had some great people.
It's easy
You
to
get-
wash dishes though. I mean, it's hard work, but it's easy to learn.
Great people, weirdos, psychos.
Yeah.
You see all walks of life.
Oh yeah,
Some of them we wanted to be
Losers.
friends with. Losers. You
best
see-
parties I
best
ever
Great
been
party.
to.
Summertime was the best. It was like 18,
Lots of just
19.
uneducated people.
I have quarterly dreams still to this day. I haven't worked in a
I do
restaurant in
wonder
15 years.
where some of these people are.
Yeah,
You know,
where are they now?
You want to talk
We'll
about?
make a documentary.
We were talking about the song over and over again. Mac and I brought this up. I can't believe we were almost leave this off of the show. One crazy thing that's happened from every single person that's worked in the kitchen, and apparently Macca still has them to this day. I haven't had one in a long time,
Yeah.
but you have this dream where you're in the kitchen and the printer just won't stop going off,
that printer.
and you can't get
get out of
you're trapped and you can't escape, and it's like this panicky,
Yeah.
like horrible bad. It's
The
not a good
sound.
dream. There aren't like naked hot waitresses on the other side or
Remember
anything like
hey,
that.
do you remember somebody would order something like 5 minutes before we closed, and you just get so pissed? Those fucking fat fucks.
So true.
I'm just saying it's interesting that every single person has like I don't know anyone that worked there that doesn't have that dream or didn't have that dream at some point.
Right.
You've had it, right?
Yeah.
And you hear the printer going off like
I don't have the
if
printer
I'm
dream.
if I'm someplace where if I hear like somebody prints out a receipt somewhere and it's like
lose it.
that same printer,
You get triggered.
whatever, you like boom right back there.
snaps
Yeah.
you back, snap back to reality.
That's just how. I mean, think about Christmas. I just think about Christmas Eve, like
One of the busiest nights of the year.
2 hours of just chaos. Like,
Catering.
set like hours and hours of a wait, like a 2 hour wait for roasted chicken. It's like, guys,
You really need this right now.
like you will wait an hour, okay? Because it's gonna be gross by the time you get it.
And if anything was gonna go wrong, it was gonna go wrong on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
remember one kid when he was a dishwasher spilled 5 gallons of marinara sauce all over the place. Just
That makes it slippery
everyone's
as
slopping
fuck.
around, sliding around,
yeah,
sauce everywhere.
yeah.
He's trying to clean it up. He's slipping and falling in it, and it's just like
Doing the
mayhem.
floors at Mama's in the kitchen was actually a lot different than any restaurant I ever worked at. Using the squeegees and stuff and
Yeah,
hosing it
yeah.
down. That was weird.
Let me
or
tell you
taking
something.
buckets of like water.
You're talking about a restaurant that has signs up that says work is good and never too clean all over the place, in the employee areas. My old man and the people that run that place make it fucking clean.
Clean is that's true. We cleaned everything
It's
so much.
fucking clean.
If it wasn't busy, you're cleaning the
We
stains.
Yeah.
might have to do like 10 episodes on restaurants because this is unending.
We've barely scratched the surface.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to break it down into chapters.
You got to. You have to break it down into chapters.
Well, if you work in a restaurant, I wish you all well.
If you're like 19 to 21 or something, you should work in a restaurant. You know why? If you're single, there's girls everywhere. You
Oh,
make
totally.
friends. Like, it's a good environment. Don't just sit in your house doing whatever.
Work
Go
in a
out
re-
and do
yeah,
something.
work in a restaurant or a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
both.
hell yeah.
Have a blast.
I can't reiterate the quote from The Tale of Two Cities. It's the best of times.
Right.
It's the worst of times. But like you look back on it and you're like, man, those were the days,
Yeah, and I want
I
to say
like
I
it.
didn't get anything out of it, but like it's definitely it helped with like dealing with like high, intense, stressful situations. Like,
You're subjected to high
helped.
stress every day.
And you appreciate not having to do it anymore too.
yeah, hell yeah.
Helped me realize that I needed to further my education and work really hard.
Yeah, right. Because
made a lot of people join the military.
Yeah, it did.
Trav was working there and was like,
we had a lot of guys that were in the military.
We just had a kid just now. This little kid Ian he's been working down there. We've run into him at the gym a couple of times. I don't know if you remember, you and I used to exercise on Sundays.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations to James and Nicole on their new apartment, all right?
Hey.
I'm happy for you guys.
Thank you.
I'm happy for that too.
Everybody's happy. We
my.
all love her. We're all happy. I do expect our workouts to resume within the fortnight. I don't even know how long a fortnight exactly is. I think it's 2 weeks. I'm not sure. They use it in Game of Thrones. But anyway, I am happy for you guys, and congratulations. If you work in a restaurant right now, just try to cherish that time, unless you've been there your whole life and you want to die, and then you got to find something to move on to. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Do it for a 5-year max stint while you're
This little-
17 to.
Right.
That little
And
dude, Ian,
DM us your stories too. Let's hear some stories from people.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some stories too.
How do they do it? How do they share them with us on our email?
Yeah, jump on our email
Well,
or
on
jump on our
Instagram, message
Instagram. Message us on Instagram. That might not be a real thing on Instagram.
That's an easy way.
TMN Bart at gmail.com. We want to hear your stories. We're probably going to do this episode 15 times. There's a lot of psychos that we know that work in restaurants.
Break it down.
or
You gotta
did
break
work
it down
in
into
restaurants.
chapters.
I
We have
want
to break it down into chapters.
I don't care about psychos. I want the best hookup and the best sexual hookup you've had with an employee, and I want the best party you went to with your crew. Or it doesn't have to be a party. You can go out to like a bar and really tear it up hard one night that really like stands out. Like one night I woke up in my own puke in the middle of the Lokai parking lot. And I apparently I had gone home with one of the waitresses, which is why this week's song of the week is Lawyers, Guns, and Money by Warren Zevon, because the opening line is, I went home with the waitress the way I always do. And I was like, yep, how was I to know she was with the Russians too? All right.
Yep.
Lawyers, Guns, and Money, baby. Listen to it. Anyway, Mac is off next week. We got a very interesting guest coming on, Wild Bill. He's got a lot of conspiracy theories. Him and Danimal are going to... What do you got there? The hot seat for Jimmy?
You do it. I don't have one because my phone's dead. I forget what it is. Mine's in my notes.
You've already felt Sean's hands, right?
Very
Oh,
smooth.
yeah, you got to do that.
Smooth
Still
hands.
smooth, baby.
That's still smooth.
If you're a guest on the show, so if you're a guest on the show, you have to feel Sean's hands.
Smoothest hands.
The girl that's coming on. So we have a girl coming on the 12th who owns a couple of like hemp boutiques, and she knows me and she's used to me and my stuff, but she's like nervous to come on the show. And I told her, I was
Why?
like, because people are just nervous to do
Yeah, absolutely.
be on camera or public speaking and stuff.
Right.
And I told her, I was like, it's not like that. It's like once you get there, you sit down, we're on
Just
mics,
talk.
whatever. We're just gonna shoot the shit, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But she's coming on, and she doesn't know it yet, but she's gonna have to feel Sean's hands, and we're gonna hot seat her, and we're trying to make a good impression because they're like a potential sponsor for the show. But
Right.
there's no,
That'd be great.
I'm sorry, she's gonna get hot seated, and
There's no way around it.
yeah, I don't think we're gonna do it next week with Billy because I don't
think
think we'll have
you'll
time.
be on the hot seat.
I think the
Yeah,
whole show is going to be the hot seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Might as well give it to him, though. All right, let me start. I got 5.
go.
Google or Apple?
Google.
Ocean versus lake.
Ocean.
Favorite cartoon as a kid?
Tom and Jerry.
Favorite rap album?
Eminem's first album.
Okay, and who's your most hated celebrity?
Ooh. Most hated. That's hard. I don't know.
No, that's a tough one.
I
Who
have
you hate the most?
I have the opposite. My opening salvo is going to be which celebrity would you sleep with, alive or dead?
Alive or dead?
Yeah, like you could say like Burt Reynolds and it would be okay.
J-Lo. Easy.
Who? J-Lo? Mm-hmm. Jennifer Lopez? Yeah. Oh boy.
Most hated celebrity?
They get on there and you just fucking hate them.
I guess.
I'm not a huge fan of Shia
You can come
LaBeouf.
back. You can come back.
I'm gonna have to come back. Yeah.
All right, you guys get yours. You got yours?
Mine's on my
alright.
phone, and my phone's dead.
I'm ready.
All right, so we got 2 rounds.
I have
now.
one question.
All right, there we go.
Me?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Okay. In a survival situation, would you cannibalize another person?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you suck a dick in a survival situation?
Depends.
This is so
depends
your
on the-
Who's the
survival.
dick?
Your survival. I don't know why, but your survival depends on this dick.
Who's dick?
Yeah.
You either die or you live a cocksucker.
I think they have. I think they got a gun on like a Desert
Gun.
Eagle pointed
Yeah,
to your
maybe
dome.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Life or death.
life or
Probably
death. You gotta
doing
do
it.
what
Death
you
or
gotta
blood.
do
Okay.
what you
I
gotta
still
do.
the rest of my question. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah.
Do you believe they're visiting us?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
Worst job you ever did during your internship at the hospital. That's very specific.
Yeah. I happened to be a nursing assistant when I was
Oof.
like, young kid in the hospital. You could do all the bad jobs, all the gross jobs,
Right.
all the
The poop.
tons.
Thoughts of poop.
Tons.
Yeah.
Luckily, nowadays my life is just anesthesia. That's
So
it.
any handling of poop or puke is the answer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Gross.
Wiping up, mopping.
Oh yeah, all of it.
Disco or oldies?
Oldies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Star
I
Trek.
like disco though.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Quick.
Quick. People ask the stupid questions sometimes, like, would the Millennium Falcon beat the Enterprise in a firefight?
Speaking of Star Trek, was recently in Jamaica, and
Yeah, we
the new Star Trek.
Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, the guy who plays
Book.
Book. I didn't realize it was him. I didn't know it was him.
James hung out with one of the main characters from the new Star Trek Discovery for about a week in Jamaica. Had no idea who he was.
like, I kept
would have
seeing
cut
him-
one of my ball sacks off. I actually only have the one sack, but I would have removed a testicle
One sack.
to
you
hang out with
clarify.
anyone from Star Trek. For
I
a
kept
week.
seeing him at the resort throughout the week, and he'd be like involved in like game shows at night when the staff of the place would like have game shows, and everyone would be like, "Oh, this guy is amazing," and I'm like, "Whatever." He just looks like a regular guy. He just has a funny English accent and
British
accent. Turns out he was Book from Star Trek.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah. Jealous. Told Jimmy that they stuck a probe up his ass during his COVID test.
We were waiting to get
As he exited the COVID test, it's like they put a probe up me bum, man.
Yeah, we're waiting to get COVID tested, and like it's a single door, one person in, one person out. It's locked. You can't get in. You have to wait your turn. And he's like gets to the door and he like opens it and he peeks out and he comes waddling out, and he's like, "Oh, they stuck a probe in my bum, man. It's a new COVID test."
How did it come up that he was on Star Trek? Did he say like I gotta go home?
As we were leaving the resort, somebody was like, "Oh, he's pretty famous," and I was like, "That guy's famous?" I'm like,
He has another sci-fi show too. Where
Yeah.
he's like.
So I had
the
to.
captain.
So I had to. He never mentioned it. The whole like I talked to him a couple times, and he had never mentioned it. So I googled him, and I was like, "Oh wow, he's an actual."
He's on Star Trek.
He's on
man.
Star Trek.
Main character.
Yeah.
Man, that's so fucking.
I've met famous people.
Yeah,
Hung out
no,
with them that long, but
not
for a party, I
Star
hung out
Trek
with them.
though. Not Star Trek.
Oh, I met George Romero, who made the Night of the Living Dead movies. Danny Trejo. He was at a party I was at.
Oh, for you, that's like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Those are big zombies.
Yeah, I met
Danny Trejo's different, but George Romero's like the biggest zombies. guy
people
out
like
there.
he was like sitting in a chair with a scotch and a cigarette, and people like from my friends with on their knees like listening to his stories like they were ready to suck his dick.
They would.
Like yeah. But yeah, no, he was there. Like the guy who played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie was there.
Oh yeah, that guy played a great Sabretooth, man. I thought
Tyler Mane. He played Michael Myers too in
I
the new
thought
Halloween movie.
I thought he did anyway. I don't know. That's all I got for this week. I do know that we've got Empire coming on in 2 weeks, and Mac is off next week. We've got Wild Bill coming on, and we'll share some more restaurant stories with you. I'm sure over the years, but I hope you enjoyed my Halloween debacle, because I can tell you what, my parents sure as hell didn't.
See you.
Bang, bang.
Peace in the Middle East.